Oops. That's why.
See ya. Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. I was in I'm in another meeting. So like I was talking, can you hear me? They're like, yeah, I can hear you.
So we move fast. Things can happen fast or slow. So Keith, I'd like to introduce you to Nova. And Nova, as I said, was a programmer that I've been working with. And we have quite a few sort of products which we're working on. One of them is the Choose Remedy. How much time do you have, Nova?
He's muted.
Can't hear you. He's in the clouds.
Yeah.
Still can't hear you. Or is he muted on purpose? Still can't hear you, my friend. What's going on?
Wrong device set as his input, probably.
You should know this one. We need your technical skills right away.
Can you hear me now?
There we
Yes.
go. Okay. Oh, someone's at my door. I'll be right back.
Okay. Are you married or kids or anything?
Yeah, I got a wife since 2014.
Okay.
And my kid is my cat, so
Okay.
I don't have a kid. I don't have any children, no. But I have a cat who's pretty demanding.
Cats can be. What does your wife do?
She is I guess a billing coordinator or something at a employment law firm.
Oh. Okay. So she handles the money.
Yeah.
Handles the money. Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of beautiful pictures together. I was just looking at I was investigating your profile a little.
Cool. I like when people ask me questions and, get to know me and figure, I don't mind that at all.
Good. There he is.
Hello. Sorry. Good to meet you. Sorry, my microphone was not working in time. I was already pleased to meet you. You just didn't hear me.
Yes.
So yeah. Yeah, I guess I got the invitation a few minutes ago to meet with you. What are we doing?
So can we bring up the back end of Choose a Remedy?
The back end? You mean the code?
Yeah, like I'm just wondering, like the first assignment, for the first mission assignment is figuring out how to save that PNG output of Choose a Remedy to social media. So that's the first mission.
Right. So yeah, you mean like some sort of automatic button, right? Because it exports a PNG right now and they can download and post it manually, but you want like a share button for the image itself or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because right now the share to Facebook just shares the site, but doesn't share the output. So I want to button it.
Yep. I mean, yeah, the code doesn't really matter. It's actually because those are all third-party applications, like share this or whatever. Unless Keith, do you have you used any of those things before?
I was trying to tell Elijah earlier, my programming knowledge is limited right now. Like I am learning Python and I'm learning starting to learn Angular, but that's not my background. I mean, mostly in computer, like I guess computer support roles, but like I'm digging deeper into, now that my job has changed, I'm now a systems integrator. I have to learn Python. And so I have a lot of background doing a lot of different things, but programming is not my foundation, so I'm getting into that more.
Cool.
Maybe you could share a bit of what you have been doing just to give Nova a bit of a background.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, well, I mean, I am working on this sort of not work-related project, like a health database to trying to, I mean, I haven't learned, I'm supposed to learn Angular for this to help create the interface, but I haven't learned that yet because there's been a lot going on. And the person working on the back end, he knows Angular, so we're going to work together. But he's busy right now dealing with selling a home or moving into another place. So I got a bit of a break from that. But so to start with that project, to help people working on it, I created an or Google script to app script to take information from our forum and put it into a Google sheet. So that's sort of, I developed that without having any background on, on Google app programming, anything like that, right? Because I mean, I've been using PowerShell for many years, since like 2012, and learn it from the ground up, learn it by myself. So I've taken a lot of that, a lot of knowledge I've learned in PowerShell, I can now, move to other languages, right? Because it is basically essentially an object-oriented programming language, but it's, you can do many things with it. You can write, little programs with it, because it's based off the .NET framework, but you can also
Okay.
just write simple little one-liner scripts, to automate things on your computer. But yeah, that's my interest is in automating things and problem solving, of course, because the many years of solving problems with various things. I mean, I do have some rudimentary programming knowledge, but not enough to go on and develop my whole new like game app or something like that. You know what I mean? Not yet, anyway. But
Okay. Cool.
But
Yeah.
I also have, like, I started off actually quickly, just also want to throw this in here. I started off actually in multimedia. So way back in, like, when I first went into college, what year was that? Like 2000 or 1998 was my first year in college. But anyway, so I eventually got into a multimedia program. I think it's actually 2000 was the year I got into that program. So I touched on many things, like, HTML, CSS, like making basic websites, using Photoshop to make graphics, and that's another passion of mine, is graphics and animation, some basic animation, 3D modeling, video, audio, like editing, and that kind of stuff. So I have a lot of different. I've touched on many different things, but I've never really been an expert in one area.
Yeah, fair. I understand that. Cool.
Yeah, I was telling Elijah that I was maybe I'll also help it with the graphics, because the way I see the graphics that he's using currently is really basic, like something that I'd seen back in the 90s, So I was thinking maybe I could enhance them a bit.
Second
Yeah.
time someone said that.
Oh, Elijah, speaking, I guess this is actually on topic. Gino has assigned someone to me who he's paying to work with me for a week on UI UX for the think tank.
Really?
Yeah. And yeah, I'm having trouble actually utilizing her much, but she kind of took a look at our chat stream, the actual inside the chat room look, and redesigned it, and looks pretty good. I'll send you a snapshot.
What? She's done the redesign? What about, did you tell her that?
She's just a conceptual person, like Figma, right? She uses Figma and just says, hey, make it look like this.
Okay,
It
great.
doesn't actually do any programming.
Okay. How does it look?
Anyway, yeah. Sorry?
How does it look?
I think it looks good, yeah.
You like it?
It
I'd
looks
like
better
to.
than what we had.
Well, yeah, I'd like to send her the next version I made, right? Because that was quite a bit different.
Yeah.
But that's so, Gino. So for the think tank, so is that for the chat stream or the think tank, or you just didn't know what to do, so you gave her that task?
No, well, for the Enigma project, I'm sure you've checked out my Discord for that. Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's just, yeah, basically, it's almost the same as the chat stream. The chat stream is just a specialized version that we created together for, the CL, but more broadly, I want to still go after the whole massive communication thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's just waiting there,
Yeah.
Mr.
So, yeah. Oh man, you have no idea. I'm so busy right now.
I can't imagine.
You probably have an idea.
I have an idea.
So yeah, as far as like, okay, so you said the first thing is to get this. So the choose a remedy can export a PNG or some kind of file type, and then you can click a button and say, oh, share to my Facebook, my tweet it, my LinkedIn, whatever else, you know, one of those share buttons that just boom, it just drops it there.
Yeah.
What else you got? If we skip past that one for a moment, what else is there?
Oh, what other, like, it'd be nice to press a button and open a Zoom or open up a chat room for Zoom.
Hmm.
It'd also be nice to take the emails, and I think this is what Keith was saying you might have done before. We grab their email at the beginning, right? But I'd like to bring that email list into a CRM, into HubSpot, and start to gather the emails of all the people that are at Choose a Remedy. And so then we can hit them with, games, or, I mean, just like maybe a monthly newsletter that can start to build a little community and start to get people using the program. So those are two more.
Cool. Okay.
I would like it as an administrator. I wouldn't mind an upgrade to get, like, another thing we can't do is your past. I don't think I can go to a past remedy and have a PNG. I think it's just listed there, but I can't output that as a PNG. So I can't go to my past ones and sort of access them.
Yep.
So that's another big thing.
Okay. Just thinking some of these things through. So, okay. So, Keith, does any of these jump out at you as something you think you can help with?
I don't know, possibly, but like I said before, my experience with programming language is still pretty rudimentary. I was curious, although what language or what's the back end of the site, I guess.
Just PHP. I didn't use any libraries. It's got a MySQL database, and yeah, just some JavaScript in the front. No, I think I might have used jQuery.
Right.
But basically just JavaScript.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know a little tiny bit of JavaScript, like a tiny little bit, but like it's very easy I find to switch from one language to another. Just it takes takes a little bit of time to learn the new nuances, differences between one language to another, but I can take what I know in one area and maybe apply it to the other. So I have a friend actually who knows PHP, so if I don't know it, maybe I could ask him, but if I can't figure it out on my own.
Yeah, okay. I mean, so I guess just to be clear, I don't get paid to do this either. I'm a volunteer. I assume you're also interested in volunteering and working with us as a team. And yeah, so yeah, don't think that like you're the only one not getting paid or something. What inspires you to like work with us, work with Elijah specifically?
Well, I first came across him on YouTube. He was interviewing a friend of mine, Justice Law. I'm not sure if you saw that interview recently.
Not sure. Was I there?
No.
No. Okay. The name sounds familiar.
Oh, okay.
Maybe,
well, maybe you've known him some other way, but yeah, he's a mutual friend of Elijah and myself. So I've known Justice since 2010. So he lives in Victoria. I live in Vancouver. Anyway, so through that interview, I was like, that was an interesting interview. And then I started looking at their other ones, and I started noticing that the topics that they're covering they go into more in depth, in these topics. Like a lot of stuff that I see online is that, they'll cover one side of the story, or they won't go full into both sides. They won't really have a full view of the issue. And I felt like that the way Elijah and Yogi were covering the topics, it was more in depth and more of a complete view, not really biased on either side. Right. And that's the kind of way I am. I like to see both sides, and not really jump to conclusions. Sometimes it takes a while to get to the truth of, stuff. And sometimes it's constantly a development, you'll probably never hit the bottom, but, as long as you're open to, finding, seeing everything, then sometimes eventually you'll come to realization, right? Anyway, just a lot of our interest seems to align, I thought so. And I felt like he was, he has a lot that he wants to take on, and I thought with my background, maybe I could help her in some way. And I got a lot of stuff going on too in other areas, but it's for some reason, as I was telling Elijah in our last conversation before this one today, was I guess my sense of my drive behind anything is I want to help other people find their purpose. Before the pandemic back in 2019, I was playing with the idea of starting my own group. I was going to call it Connections, and my idea was to bring people together in the Vancouver area, from who were struggling to meet other people, but also, I guess the core of the idea of the group was to help people solve problems, like problems in their life. It could be a relationship, it could be something with your family. Maybe you don't have any close friends that you can bounce ideas off of, and you just want to talk to some people in person, and because not everyone's good with dealing with computers, right? That kind of thing. So my idea was to bring people together from different backgrounds, and with the idea of maybe like, once these people are together in a room, when they start talking and learning with each other, they might be able to find common things that connect them, and then help each other, right, solve those problems. So that was because I kind of see the world as like this big giant puzzle piece, and not everybody is going to fit into the same area in that puzzle, and some people will fit together better than others. So I think, I just felt like there was like a need to find a kind of facilitate that in some way. And I guess Elijah's kind of trying to do that too, but in a digital format.
Right on.
It's a lot of other stuff to me. I can go on for hours, so I don't want to go into too much detail if we got limited time. So
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Now, what do you? Maybe this is off topic.
I don't think anything's off topic.
We got so many topics. Yeah, I was just wondering, how the project with you and Gino is going, and is Keith helping with that too, or maybe that's another area to look at.
It could be. Could be. I mean, do you know Webflow at all? Have you heard of Webflow?
I don't remember what it is.
It doesn't sound familiar.
It's a website builder that is a sort of more of a drag and drop, but it's sort of like
I think I have seen it.
I'm thinking I've made an interface for Gino that I think that this Webflow can build. I mean, the problem with the other website builders is they don't sort of, it's still the HTML or whatever it is. It's just kind of, you can't place things quite where you want. And like, I want to control that interface. I want to design the interface exactly as it's designed and not have a website kind of barely moving things around, right?
Yes, I did see that actually, because I think my last job company, they actually were using it for their site. And I took a quick look at it and I really liked it, because it's got what you see, what you get kind of designed to it, but it's well put together.
So what I've been thinking about is like an interface that has, in the middle is where your video goes, but it's just like a smaller video. But then from pressing all the buttons from columns and what do you call them? Rows, that you can, let's say, see 1,000 videos from pressing all these different buttons. It's like having nested sort of Russian dolls of saying, like, because I work in models a lot. And so it's kind of like you have 6 here, and then you have 5 here, then you have 4 here, then you have 5 there. By pressing those 4 sets of buttons, you get your video. So if you're coming from multiple projects and then you're taking people through a process, this interface is something that I've had for a long time waiting to build. And so Webflow I think is how to do it. I'm not competent enough in sort of that. I think if I was shown how to do it, I could probably do it, but I think you would jump to it a lot quicker than me for sure. So anyway, that is another side thing. I mean, I would like to get the Choose a Remedy just going. I would like to just focus on that because it's the closest that we have to actually running on its own once it gets going. And it could start to build up some clientele, and it's a good starter thing because it's small. You know, there's only a few more refinements to make. And then if we could just sort of, you know, tweak it until it's, you know, this is it, then we can leave that alone. And then I think the chat stream is a bigger program that has a lot more sort of things that need to get done. But I want to see I want to finish the products. I get whatever we have now, I want to get it complete to the level where we can actually use it and test it. So the chat stream, I think there's a lot in the chat stream, Keith. You know, all of the projects you talked about, it can kind of be integrated into what we got here. Like it brings teams together and it connects people. And we're looking, the essence, I think, of what we're going to be looking at is team building. Is just what you said, getting people together on Planetary Guardian teams, whether the media teams or not, and using the tools to help take them through a training process. So then all of a sudden they're building these web TV shows focused at the issues that need to be solved. So the end game is creating these web TV shows that have media teams that are solving the issues of the day.
Sounds good.
If you want, I can share my screen. Keith, have you seen choosearemedy.com yet?
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yes.
a little bit, but not, you know, in detail.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. After you log in, you'll see something like this. You know, you can pick one of these, or you can go to buy spells if you've already been using it. See, I got 43 already. I've done, and you can see the ones that you've done before, and it's just loading. This is literally just a PNG.
Oh, so you can save that now.
Well, it's just I mean, yeah, you can always just save it here.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, but there's like this particular thing over here on the right. This only shares the whole screen. It just shares the website, like choosearemedy.com. And yeah, basically, I guess a quick synopsis. We built this together, and then I had to, I don't know, I lost time, I think, and I had to do other things, and so it's not finished. I mean, most of it works, but yeah, like for instance, although you can save this as an image, it would be nice if there's, you know, on the right hand side here or something, there's some other share buttons.
Yeah.
So you can just share this directly, and it gives you, you know, the everything. But yeah, if I show you, like, it's, oh, okay, that's not actually an image. Hold on. Maybe is this an image? Oh no. Okay, so this isn't finished either. Yeah, so it actually just recreates it for you.
Right. So you can't share. Okay.
Those are individual pictures at the moment. However, when you do it this way, and it gives you this actual spell. What is my greatest weakness? Caring, sharing.
What is my greatest weakness? Caring, sharing.
But here, if you go to save as,
the sharing, the biggest is not sharing.
Yeah, so save as image or save as PDF. I guess, for example, if I click save as PDF, so in the backend, PHP is using a library here to just create a PDF based on that. And so this is all, you can see the PDF, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so this is what it creates. And the idea is they could fill out this action. They could print this off or something, and they could fill out this action step, or I suppose they could edit it with an Adobe editor. Put in their insights, put the facilitator's name in. This is just today's date, but this could be changed, etc.
Yeah, you could make
Anyway,
those, editable PDFs. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be probably the idea. Or you can print it out and use it as a workshop, or you can save it as an image, which uses a different library, creates a PNG actual image of all this. So this is actually all one physical image now. And this you could save to your computer. You could share it on Facebook, say, hey, I did this, thing. But obviously here, it would be nice again to have some kind of share button that share this image directly or share that PDF directly instead of sharing the whole website. So yeah, I kind of hit a wall at some point. I didn't have time to finish that part, but essentially my approach was to use this, add this. I think this is an add this. There's quite a few companies that have these things that you can get and put on your website. I can't remember which one this is, but ultimately it may be just a combination. Maybe we just need to use a different one for that other part, or maybe it's a matter of customizing this one through their little options on their website to make it work individually as well, or to use two different ones, one for just sharing the whole website and another one when you go to actually share your spell itself. So I just didn't get to finishing that part. And yeah, so
I think you got to press save as again, because sometimes you got to press it twice.
no, it should just be once. That might have been a bug we fixed before.
Well, no, but it didn't. You pressed it and it didn't come up. We didn't get the PNG.
Oh, I did. Maybe it didn't show you. I'll do it again.
Was I wrong?
Because it opens it in another window or another tab. Technically, I might have. Just
oh, on your computer you saw it, but yeah, usually it's right in front when I see it on mine.
Yeah, like if I can save an image here, it takes a second. And oh yeah, okay, because it's actually yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, it does, yeah, share it. You'll see it here. Boom.
I trust you.
Okay.
Accuracy,
so
purchasing, energy.
Sorry?
That's a good one too.
Oh. Accuracy, purchasing, energy. Interesting. So yeah, I guess as far as troubleshooting this, I mean, straightforward without even any programming knowledge. I don't have a lot of time right now to finish this. I will soon, but not today for sure. But I have enough time to meet with everyone and talk about it. But like for one thing, someone could kind of just investigate, go to the website addthis.com. I think it's add this, and just try to kind of figure out how. First, I wasn't able to determine if you're able to kind of have a specific thing with their API. And if you can, well, then how do you do it is the second thing. And it's usually just a matter of clicking some options and then it gives you some code to copy and paste. Oh, okay. This is using share this apparently. So sharethis.com, I think is the one. But then the other thing is, okay, well, if it's not obvious how to do it there, maybe that's the wrong one. Maybe we should be using add this, or maybe we should be using, there's a lot of those things. I think those are the two biggest ones, but there's quite a few. So if you're motivated and think you can help that way, that would be really good. And then, obviously I can copy and paste the code in, or we can give you access and you can copy it and paste it in yourself if you want.
Yeah. Do you guys have like a staging environment, or is it just, what you see here is that's it?
Yeah, I mean, I was just the only developer at this point, so all I got is just I use Notepad and I upload it directly to the server. Do you know how to set up a Git repository and all that kind of stuff for us?
I have used Git in the past, but it's been a while, and I actually will be using it at my current job, but I haven't gotten there yet because I'm still fairly new in this role. But yeah,
Yep.
I mean, I have used it to clone a repository and make changes and re-upload it to the repository, but I don't know how complex that your Git environment is, but
Well, we don't even have one right now. That's the thing.
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just literally just the server runs the files. I upload to the server. I modify those files directly,
Right.
just because I'm lazy and that's how I've
That's
always
fine.
done things.
Yeah, I mean,
I've always been like
works.
my entire life I've only been a single developer working by myself. I have worked for companies as well and used Git and worked with teams and stuff, but in general, yeah, when I do these projects, it's usually just me, so I don't use Git or anything. Just
yeah,
just
makes
code
sense.
it and go.
Yeah, same here. That's why for me too. Like that's why I never used Git, because I'm usually doing things by myself. So
yeah, it's like writing a whole bunch of documentation for the thing that you're going to make when it's just you. There's just no point. And until you need other people to get on board and they're like, okay, well, show me the document, show me some stuff. And you're like, I don't got anything like that. Which has been my experience. yeah, I guess I mean, maybe step one could be just some investigation, and then let us know what you find, and we can meet up and,
Yeah.
and just live change the code in another meeting too. Like it'll take me 5 minutes to change the code while we're sitting here. If, you know, if we're just a matter of changing the options, you know, clicking a button, getting some code to put on the website, and then we can try that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And the other way to go around, or other way to do this that I was thinking about, which may be the solution, is because when you save as, it either creates a PNG or a PDF, and then it gives you a new window with just that PNG or PDF in it, nothing else. There's no page or anything. I could obviously instead make it so it gives you another page, or just changes the content of this page to be an actual HTML page that contains the image, and therefore when you click the button on, you know, you can, because with just the image or just a PDF, there's nowhere where you can actually put those buttons, because it's just the one file that the browser is loading. But if if it creates a page or puts the image on this page, then there's somewhere to put the buttons, and it's perhaps linking you to a page with a bunch of numbers on the end that links to that particular image. So when you share it, it shares that page specifically. So that was the other avenue I was thinking about, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Okay, and then okay, that's number one. Number two was a Zoom link. Is that right? Like,
Well, yeah, it'd be nice to sort of press the button and start a conversation. Like when it would be like the chat stream. Like if we could go from here right into the chat stream and have a chat where you can invite people to answer the question, and have this at the top as the image, and then you invite people into the chat to answer the question. So having a methodology to do that, either in Zoom or in chat stream or any other, let's say, communication platform, would be great.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure somehow it can be done. Computers can do a lot of stuff if you tell them how. I think we're probably not, I'm just guessing kind of, we don't need that, or at least not for a while.
We don't need that immediately, but that is something which I think is a big part of this, because this is like a step, and then the next step is to actually get together with people and answer the question. And that's what chat stream is kind of about, right? It's getting people together in a chat stream or a Zoom or both to work out something specifically.
Like alternatively, or as kind of a connected idea, because we created the chat stream where people could select the lenses during the facilitator selects the lenses that the conversation is going to be based on. It wouldn't be too difficult to add another button that says, I want to choose a remedy to this chat or something, and then it either takes you to this website or just does the same thing, and then boom, the chat stream creates one on that.
Right.
That's sort of the same thing, right?
Yeah. No, that's the same.
Or you just link the two together so that when you're the facilitator in chat stream, you can load up your saved spells and click on and select one.
Well, and wouldn't that be
rather than having a button here that creates a chat room, right? Because
right.
Different.
Well, it's just where they're coming from. Like, are they coming from the chat stream to do it, or they're just coming into this program and all of a sudden it's their first time, and then from there they would go into the, because I mean, wouldn't the chat stream kind of like the two big things would be, okay, we designed the whole chat stream and you're going through a process with a facilitator, versus we have a remedy and we can create a chat stream for that remedy with or without a facilitator. And those would be two of the big functions.
Right.
So Keith, just so you know that within this whole idea, there's a big choice between divination or not divination, as kind of like the methodology, straight design or sort of rolling the dice a bit.
No, it's not being recorded.
And I think another thing which, if we had, and that's part of what I was working on for the interfaces of the teams, where if you can bring, and this I think connects into your idea about connecting people, Keith, if you can bring people who go like, that's the program is, I'm going to have a chat with a group of people and answer a question. I'm either going to come in as the questioner or I'm going to come in as one of the people. It just randomly puts us together, but because of my preferences to get me to a certain point, hopefully we bring people together that, have, let's say, like mind or like philosophy, or maybe we don't, maybe they're all different. But just again, having a methodology to bring different people into a group and then answering a question with a divination would be like one of the central functions of the software.
I was just thinking it's maybe this is unrelated, but like is this website, this tool meant to function alongside of other sites? So like, as like someone's on this, on Facebook or something like that, or what I mean, some other social media platform, and they have an app, whatever, or some extension that links into this tool that, where you can dig deeper into a specific topic, or I don't know. I was just saying, I'm not sure,
No, I think, Keith, you're right. There's another platform called Unite. I mean, even if like Facebook, if you had a button that pressed and said, have a question and then get a remedy and pop, it goes in. So if we had some sort of, embedded program that goes into other social media sites where you generate it straight from the site, that would be another piece of this. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think the bigger picture of this, how this could work. I was thinking also in the beginning, like in some companies that I've been at, they like to have these get-togethers, right? And because a lot of things are virtual now, sometimes they struggle with trying to find a way to bring people together, online. And this could be something like that, maybe like in a game format you're showing me.
Yep. I mean, there's another, what's it called, Wessex or something like that. There's something like Zoom that's coming, that's actually out right now, that has it does games in Zoom-like environments. So they've got a whole bunch of games and they don't have any divination. So I've already talked to their salesperson and she was going to put me in touch with their CTO. So that's another possibility. That's a very strong, good possibility, I think, if once we're ready.
So when you say divination, sorry, what do you mean by that?
Well, when you press
Dividing?
the button new spell, that's like it's a random generator. So we're not choosing which lenses. We're not choosing. It's like the great mystery.
Like a simple explanation is divination is if you have a question, you don't know the answer, and it's a true or false question, you can flip a coin and let fate decide.
Right.
Or you can throw some bones, or you can look in a teapot, or like all these different things are forms of divination, right?
Right.
That's kind of what it would be. Yeah, like divine a question would be, you can either write a question, write your own, pick a question, you can select one, or you divine a question, which means, again, kind of like,
oh yes,
let the universe decide what my question is, and then all you got to do is pick a category for it. Like business question, I don't know. It seems like I'm almost clicking on it already, Lindsay. What is our best next step?
Always a good question.
So it was like that black ball, 8 ball thing.
Yeah, the magic 8 ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, tarot cards. There's so many things that people have used in the throughout history to make decisions. The I Ching, where they're essentially allowing the universe or fate or whatever you want to say to decide. But it's these systems that people utilize that make the difference. Like, yeah, you can use a coin, or you can use I Ching, or you can use tarot, or you can use something like this. And the people would choose one of those based on what their opinion of that particular thing is. Like, some people really do believe that I Ching is capable of divining things. Some people believe it, a lucky double-headed coin is what you should use, or blah blah blah. Right? There's all these different things. So we've created, or Elijah has created something like that for in technologically ways here.
How do you spell that? Sorry, I never actually heard that term before. I Ching or something?
Oh wow, yeah, ICHING. It's one of the oldest books that have survived.
Oh, okay.
It's a bunch of lines and dashes, basically. But it embodies a system. That's the thing. It's a system. Just like a set of playing cards is a certain system, right? You have a certain amount of these cards, those cards. You got only two one-eyed jacks, you got this, you got that, and it allows for people to kind of make decisions or use them as a symbol to do things or to represent things. So the I Ching is another one of those systems, I would say. Same with astrology or tarot, or
Right.
some of those are they're just so old that they seem weird and mysterious, but they're actually just, you know, old systems of organization of information.
Cool. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that more. It's funny, I was in my other group and I was saying that I was being chosen to read something, and I was saying, do we have a way to flip a coin in here? You know, to
Yeah.
we're in Discord, so I didn't know if Discord had a way
Oh,
to do that.
no, they have a surprisingly lack of stuff like that. Even polls, like to do a poll in Discord, you just add some emoticons and ask people to click on one to do this. And
Right.
They don't even really have that built in yet. I don't know why. Discord's a weird thing. It's like a multi-billion-dollar company, but it's owned by two people, and they refuse to sell it to Microsoft or anyone.
Yeah. Okay.
They were offered like $126 billion, and they said no.
I kind of admire that, actually. I mean, a lot of companies, like, you know, they get to a certain point where they're, you know, get popular, and then someone comes along and try to buy them out, and they sell their company, right? I actually, and then I find a lot of those companies lose their, you know, their value or
Oh yeah.
their direction, you know, where they were going, and they're just not as good anymore when the people who created it leave, you know.
Yep. I think that's, yeah, pretty common. Yeah. Well, just like YouTube and Google were both invented by Canadians, and eventually they were bought out by Americans and other people, and now they're like multi-billion-dollar companies that may or may not be good for the planet. But they're definitely useful. This is going on YouTube. You know, I'm Googling things as we're talking, so I can't say too much bad about that. But yeah, that's how it goes. So I should leave in 15 minutes, but that gives us a whole 15 minutes, or me a whole 15 minutes.
You could probably solve the whole thing, I'll bet.
Well, I don't think so. No, I guess, well, we can take the first step, I think. I guess since this is sort of the point of this meeting, Keith, are you interested in pursuing some of these ideas further to see if you can investigate or troubleshoot?
Yeah, I'll take a crack at it. No promises, but, you know, I definitely don't mind, you know, throwing my hat in the ring and seeing what I can do.
Yeah, basically it probably just takes like an hour for someone to sit down, do a little research, looking to share this, add this, and then try to figure out if you can, if one of them is better than the other, as far as like, okay, it just has to two things. It has to share the whole website in one format over here. And then the other part is that we have to be able to like tag images or pages or something to share, you know, a specific thing on the website.
Yes,
and
exactly.
so I've not been able to figure that out. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just a matter of research probably.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well then, yeah, that part's, at least that's something. And then we can meet again at some point soon, and you can, like, once you've had a chance to look, and we can try the code or make the changes or whatever that your research has indicated. Okay, other than that, we still got 15 minutes.
Well, I think we can cut it short. I mean, we got done what we got to get done. Unless I can leave and you guys can chat the way you want to chat.
Interesting.
Well, probably not, because then I'd have to shut down the thing.
You can
It's
make
okay.
someone else the
I don't know, I
host.
mean-
You can make other people the host if you did want to
That's
leave
true.
as the host.
Okay.
I think if you
Yeah.
leave, if you don't end the meeting, you just leave, it'll automatically make someone else the host.
Really?
Yeah.
No, well, no, it'll end the meeting for all if you click end the meeting. Oh, I guess no, you can just end the meeting, isn't it?
Leave the meeting. Yeah. End it.
Yeah. Oh, I've never tried clicking that one.
Because because I've been in that situation before.
Oh, you're muted, Elijah.
No, but then if we got 15, can you bring up the chat stream program and let's take them through the back end?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Can you see this window?
I can see it.
Okay. Have you seen this at all yet?
Not the login screen.
Okay, fair. I'll just log in as myself here. Oh, actually, I'm not a very privileged user anymore. I'll have to log in as Elijah. Okay. Yeah, so I don't know how much you know about this. We were creating this idea was kind of a combination of two different ideas that we, or like an idea that we each had. Kind of we combined our heads and created this for a particular group called Lyciel that had 144 people in 30 countries gathered for this past year in order to collaborate and make some, the idea was to make some changes in the world, or like kind of produce some research papers, or I don't know exactly what. But anyway, they were supposed to test our technology, and that didn't really go very well, but we created this technology for them to test. And then in the end, they weren't able to utilize it properly because of what they wanted to do. And they wanted us to make all these changes, which kind of like shot our technology in the foot, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it essentially, oh, you know what? I think Elijah is better at describing what this is, and if you haven't already heard.
No, you keep going.
But I'm always talking so much, and you're always complaining that I talk too much.
No,
and
but
not let you talk.
I'm just, you're on a roll, go.
Ah, okay. So, okay, I guess my understanding of this, it was our attempt to create a type of communication system similar to chat rooms and forums and things like that, but again, with the unique characteristics that involve Elijah's methodology and maps and systems that he's created, and kind of combine that with a generally something similar to a chat room, but then it also had some added mechanics and stuff, which I originated, and then we both kind of built upon in order to kind of create something that where people can talk in it, and yet the conversation has sort of a point to it. It's not just a random chat. The idea is that it has a structured way of being, so that it takes people through a process of brainstorming to analyzing, all the way like a few steps to actually either make a decision or produce some sort of result that's useful. And it provides mechanisms and mechanics within the chat room that kind of help that happen. So instead of just being a chat and people can copy and paste it and make a document somewhere, the idea is it actually provides the mechanics so that once it goes beyond the chat to the next stage, okay, now there's some other tools that pop up, and you can perhaps create a prioritized list, or you can vote on whatever it is, or etc. And there'd be several stages of mechanics and steps that would bring the company or the organization or the group or whatever in the end to either make a decision or to produce something, or both, I suppose. So, and then this is the back end that we're showing here. There's all these different levels, so you could be a super administrator, obviously just control everything. You don't, that's just whoever, that's just us actually. And then there's an administrator who are particular. So the idea is that different organizations, different groups can use this, and each of them, they would have an administrator, and they have their own separate chat stream basically. So the administrator view allows them to control that. You can have different groups, and then each of those groups can be led by a different facilitator. So the facilitator view would look something like this, and they'd have to set up the missions, manage their team, add team members, manage the missions, all this stuff. And there's a couple different versions. Yeah, and they can create their mission. Perhaps the goal is to decide something, obviously better than that. You can put a time limit on it. You can have however many stages you want. And then this piece here is kind of something that Lyciel wanted us to put in at the last minute, so it's still here. What is the purpose of this step, perhaps? And then this will look more familiar here. So here's where you can either randomly or choose a lens, a value lens, for example. And these are obviously, these look familiar from Choose a Remedy. So it's using the same system of cards or same system of choices. So perhaps I'll pick cooperation, and then you're going to pick your conversation type, and then your conceptual lens. It just takes a moment to load these because we never hosted them with Cloudflare or anything in the end to make this faster. But essentially, yeah, you picked your three things, maybe direction or cycles, and this one will go with healing. Once you got your 3, move through that. And you can pick manual start or schedule, and then the manual activated. So you can just click here and it'll start that. And let me see if I can find one that's already ready. So this is just obviously kind of our example back end here. Surely one of these is ready. No.
I think right underneath, is it member underneath Sacred in Reality?
Yes, you're right. Okay, so and then finally the very lower screen is like the average, not the average person, I shouldn't say that, but just the people that aren't facilitators or administrators, the people that are just part of the group, they're using the technology. This is the screen they see when they log in. So they say, oh, the mission is now, or maybe it's later. They can update their time zone just to make things easier for scheduling. And then there's some points, so that how many missions they've done, how many supports they have. That's something to do with one of the mechanics, and how many points they have. And once they click join, it'll show them the burning question. Again, that wasn't something we originally planned, but it's an interesting feature that we can have optional. And then you're into the actual chat room itself, or the chat stream as we call it. So, and it does, of course, look very similar to a chat room. There's a bunch of messages. There's some people that are either logged on or not logged on. But there's a support button beside the messages, and that's kind of where the first mechanic plays in. And then as the facilitator, you'll be able to click up here, and there's a third button that says move to next stage, essentially, and that would change the mechanics. The people would be notified in here, hey, we're moving to stage 2. Now we got to, decide which of these brainstormed ideas we're going to go after, and then the next stage, maybe we're going to analyze that one, come up with some list of steps to actually do it, et cetera, et cetera. And inside here, you can see there's points at the top right. There's perhaps a time limit. There's an objective is there. What group you're in is the Sacred in Reality. And then up at the top left are, again, those lenses that were chosen, or the cards that were chosen.
And this
So there's
design is not
rundown.
as I would have wanted at all, but it was the best we could do under the timing. So this would have a lot more functionality, would be framed quite differently to make sure that you knew this was the conversation type you're in, because those 3 buttons on the left are like the most important things.
Yeah, and basically, Elijah was wanting me to make a bunch of changes, and then we ran out of time. Lysiel needed to use it. They wanted us to make a bunch of different changes, so we made those with the burning questions and some of the other stuff, and then we just ran out of time for them to do anything else, and then I ran out of time to continue to do this, just like the other project. I basically ran out of time because I started school, and yeah, that was the big one.
Well, then
and
also
so-
it didn't get introduced right, like it was.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying too. Yeah, Lysiel, they're a great organization. I do think they're got a good potential. They're still going too. I was at their last meeting, and in 3 weeks they're going to reconvene, and everyone's going to be assigned things, and there's more stuff to do. I don't think you're at that meeting, but it's interesting what they're doing next. Actually, I thought it was pretty good idea. Anyway, yeah, I'll show you one other thing too. I was just mentioned that earlier. Like, this is another version that person came up with yesterday.
I mean, she didn't translate any of the other functionality. Like,
no, and this has, I mean, this again is more focused on what I want for the think tank quickly in a basic form, because Gino wants to use it for the university to have a mass conversation with 1,000 people. And so I'm just quickly hoping to tailor something like that up. I've only got her for a week, so yeah. But anyway, it just visually, it does look, well, first of all, it looks very, very bare. There's very little there, but anyway, it looks more modern.
Yes.
I don't mind as the aesthetics change. I just want the functionality there that I want.
Yep, that's fair.
Yeah. That's definitely the most important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what we were hoping to do originally, is like design the functionality, throw this bottom, look to it. It works. It looks like it displays the information. It could be rearranged and changed, but at least it displays the information. And then, we were focusing number 1 on functionality, and then secondly on looks.
Yeah.
And
Well, we were
just never
missing
really
a key. we were missing a key member or two for, like, we just needed help from two other functions that I think you fill one of them. And maybe another person, and then I think we would have done it. But we're just, we're too small a team. And we were trying to bring some other people in, and we kind of did, but it didn't kind of work out. It's, it's hard to find that person who can actually just jump in and fill in the function, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We want anyway.
Yeah, we were still hoping. I guess we're still hoping now to find someone who's really good at CSS and just CSS and HTML, and can really like make a website look good. Because I'm a pretty good programmer, but it takes, like, when I'm creating any of these things, 90% of my time is just burned away on trying to make things look right, and it just drives me crazy. And it takes I could do like literally 10 times more work if we had someone on the team that can just do that part.
Yeah, I've learned. I spent a lot of time playing around with CSS and HTML, so it's been a couple, maybe like a good year now since I've really, was into it full on. But I could probably get back into it and do it again. So, but if necessary,
well, that's
I like doing that kind of thing.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Well, I mean, yeah, if you like doing it, that's something that we would definitely need help with if you're interested in relearning and getting into that.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do in CSS that you couldn't do years ago. You can do
Oh,
now.
yeah.
So
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, like even just the calculate thing. I don't know if you know that, like calc. You can put like 3 EMs plus 5 pixels now, instead of just, you have to just put straight 5 pixels or something.
Yes.
And like just that. Yeah, like there's like that like transform thing where you can like rotate an image just with the CSS and stuff. Like, it's a whole bunch of cool stuff they built in, plus like transitions and stuff, which I haven't actually used, but it looks neat.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just doing animations with CSS alone. Anyway, wow, okay. I mean, honestly, that's the number one type of person I think we could still benefit from, is like just someone who can even do like 75% professional job at this point would be 75 times better than what I can do. As far as the design goes.
I can show you a site that I was working on. It's like they didn't actually end up using it, but I think it's still there. It's like a baking. She's a baker and she has a website, but like I made a staging, and I guess like a staging version of the site that they didn't actually end up using. But let's see if I can find a link to it here. Yeah, there's the link. I just want to see if it's still working. Is it gonna load? Oh, it's still there. Okay, yeah. So like maybe if I can share my screen first, I got to get up on the browser. Give me a minute here. That's if you have time. I just want to quickly show you this site for some reason. This is why I spent a lot of time playing around CSS on this site, doing this kind of hack things. But
yeah, well, so let's see. Oh, it's okay. These are fake classes too, just so you know, like I can put my finger right through here. It's just for fun.
Okay, I'll show you the main site because I'm actually their webmaster. But this person does not want to put any effort into their site at all. So it's like, it's up to me, whatever I want to do kind of thing, but I have to, of course, find out what she wants, and she never has time really to work on the site. So without the owner giving me direction, I can't do anything, right? But yeah, so this is her site currently. She ended up, I was working on my version. So when I originally talked to her, I reached out to her myself. This is my idea. I didn't like her original site. I thought it needed work and I wanted to help update it. So at the time it was a static site. It was not an e-commerce site. It was a static site. So I went through all the work of making a new static version of their website. And I think she liked it, and she was on board with it. I was going to, upload it and replace the current site. But then she had this idea, okay, maybe we should make this into an e-commerce site. And then that encompass skills I didn't have at the time. So I couldn't, I was working on learning it, and I was getting there, but it was too slow for her. So she ended up hiring another company to come in, and I was doing it for free anyway. So she hired this other company to come in and then take it over and make it to an e-commerce site, which they did. So that's what it is right now. But it's still pretty rudimentary in its look. And so what I did is I created this. This is the my mock version that I was gonna, and it's also like mobile, like friendly. So on a phone, it looks really nice. But I spent a lot of time crafting this. At the bottom here, you see the text wraps around the image.
Yep.
That took me a
Nice.
while to do in CSS, which I really like.
So this what we're looking at is your version.
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's good. It looks good.
Yeah. So and it's
And
still pretty.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's still pretty basic, but like I basically just took what she already had and tried and enhanced it a bit, right? So.
And did you use WordPress or anything? Is this just straight
Yeah,
code
WordPress.
yourself?
WordPress, yeah.
So okay.
So yeah, a lot of HTML, CSS, editing and stuff. But yeah, and I did some custom stuff in here. Like let's see. So this didn't exist in WordPress. This see this breadcrumb trail sort of at the top here, where
Yep.
we're now in the product section. This didn't exist. I had to build it in. So I guess I did do. I think it was PHP that I used to create this. I forget what I did exactly, but it took me a while to figure it out, and I eventually found a way to do it so I could see where I'm at the site, right? Because I thought that was important, and now it goes right in. It shows you exactly where you are. I like that a lot, but yeah, unfortunately she never used it, but I did like the work I put into it. So I still have it as an example. It's still live because I have the webmaster, so it still exists here. But
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah,
it's like I just made it really simple, but I enhanced what she already had. I have like a really old site that I made many years ago for my custom, because I was in a multimedia program and I made a portfolio for myself, and I was using that to show people what I could do. But it's so old now that I don't even know if it's not even online anymore. I have to show you like a local copy or something. But this is like the most recent thing that I've done, I guess you can say, with CSS and HTML and WordPress.
Okay.
And I think, not sure, I had before some like other enhancements, but I think I took them out because they didn't make any sense. Like when you hover over an image, it would get bigger, right? But I think I took that out. I don't think it's on here anymore. Yeah, I just, yeah, did what she.
How's your timing there, Nova? I think we must be
Yeah.
getting close to your,
Anyway.
Well, whatever.
it's not exact.
I'm
Okay.
in no hurry, really.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, it's pretty basic, right? There's nothing like major on here. Your site was pretty basic from the beginning, so I just tweaked it a bit, so it was more pleasing to the eye. I mean, I wish I could show you the old version. This is sort of what the old version looked like, and this is my work computer, so I don't have a copy on here that I can just pull up and show you. But
Well, you might be able to use the Internet Archive.
yeah, true. Let's see here. That's true. I could do that. Let's see.
Oh yeah.
2017 maybe, or even 2018, because actually it's been like that for a long time. So I buy stuff from her at the farmers market all the time, so that's why I was interested in helping her with the site. But yeah, so this is what it looked like before. This is exactly what it was like. So that's why I thought, yeah, there's some things that are not looking right, like her schedule. Like she has like a schedule on here for the farmers market, like when she's going to be at the market, and it was never updated. And that was the reason why I got interested in updating your site in the first place, because I was always wondering when are you gonna be at the market, right? And she never would update this. So yeah, it's like not really the best, but it's functional, it does the job, but it was never updated, and some things don't really make sense on here. Like, sure, if I can show you an example, but anyway, like I took that and I made this, right? So just
Oh, my kids are home. I lost track of time. That's okay. Yeah, okay, well, I mean, this looks good. I like what you did to it, at least, anyway.
Yeah,
So,
it's pretty basic, but yeah,
well,
CSS and HTML is my interest as well. So like I could, you know, probably
right on.
do something.
Okay, well, maybe we should leave it here, and if you can do the research and add share this thing, and we can meet up again soon about that. But I mean, the CSS HTML thing, that's awesome, and I'm assuming Elijah and I have to figure out what we're gonna do in order to say, hey, let's do that. But we'll try to regroup on that too, and yeah, because I mean, obviously, some of our projects are stalled just because we don't have someone who can work with that stuff. That's
Yeah,
like one of
okay.
the biggest reasons. And if I can just do back-end programming and PHP, and someone else can handle making a box on the screen look red and move around if it needs to, or whatever, like simple stuff. Basically, we're not trying to make a rocket ship website, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. But
Yes.
yeah, I spent so much time doing that.
Yeah. Well, I'll, you know, like I said, throw my hat in the ring, you know, and see what I could do, and we'll, you know, see what happens, I guess. Whatever tasks you want to throw at me, you know, I'll start with that, and you know, whatever, we'll see what happens, I guess, what I can get from that. And but if you have something else related to CSS or whatever I can help with, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Okay.
thanks for seeing us so soon, and thanks, Nova, for dropping everything to chat. That was great. And I guess next step
No worries.
is the research, and then we'll hook up again.
Cool.
All right, so see you, everybody.
That's good. Thank you. You too.
All right.